Dear friends, compatriots, partners in nation building, it is with a sense of filial affection, shared dreams, and a common patrimony that I reach out this October 1, 2017 to seek to connect to you. This is in the hope that our shared aspirations may bloom and in the understanding that sharing makes a burden lighter. When I was much younger, people looked forward to October 1 for different reasons. But it seemed all awaited the broadcast to the nation by the head of state as a rallying call to nation building and the erection of personal aspirations as altars of monuments that addressed bold new futures. Unfortunately, things have changed. For many years now, October 1 has not been what it used to be, not to rob a deserving generation of this great tradition and shared patrimony. My team suggested this citizens' engagement in focusing the spirit of our nation and all of us on the possibilities of this journey, which our founding fathers, through perspirations and aspirations, envisioned and brought to life in the struggle for independence. As a growing child who could look back with nostalgia to being dressed up and lifted up onto horseback on October 1, 1960 in Kano, the spirit of October 1 was about the limitless possibilities of the Nigerian essence. As Alhaji Maitama Sule, a young minister at that time of independence, reminded me so frequently in later life, it was with great anticipation that the world awaited the manifestation of the great potentials of the emerging world, such as Brazil, Nigeria, and India. We may have stumbled here and there, gone off course on some track or the other on the journey, but as my personal anthem intones, in humble supplication but confident gait, Nigeria will rise up again. God will heal our land, restore us anew. Surely, Nigeria will rise up again. It is with the confidence that our wounds can heal and the promise of the founding fathers reclaimed that I embrace this citizens' broadcast in this age of social media. There are many who choose to focus on the babble of dissent and discontent, and many who tend to despair at the apparent hate speech in social media, while others worry about unemployed and angry youth becoming easy recruits for antisocial movements and activities, whether it be Boko Haram, Niger Delta militancy, kidnapping, or armed robbery, moving us towards the coming anarchy Robert Kaplan predicted. I acknowledge these apparently disturbing trends, but I see more the half full rather than the half empty glass. Perhaps more than most of my peers, I see and interact more with Nigeria's youth by virtue of the programs of the Center for Values in Leadership, which I founded to help the young find a leadership compass to lead them to success, impact, and greatness. And the fact that being a teacher, especially one whose calling is to help form the next generation, extends my vision. We may not be able to reconstruct a fractured past, but we can erect the future as a strong monument that the past is safely buried in its foundation as rubble in the foundation of this towering edifice, which is what gets seen. But the future must begin today. To delay is not an option. It begins best if we can find clarity in how we invest in our young people so that the youth bulge becomes the path to a demographic dividend rather than anarchy anticipated. This means education, education, and education, with an emphasis on learning for value creation. Every single one of you watching this video has something you are good at, something good to offer, and you have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is. You've got to work for it, train for it, and learn for it. To all our forward-thinking youth, you will need insights and critical thinking skills in order to fight poverty, homelessness, crime, and discrimination, and make our nation more fair and free. You will need the creativity and ingenuity you develop to build new companies that will create new jobs and boost our economy. I challenge you to develop your talents, skills, and intellect so you can help solve our most difficult problems. If you quit, you are not just quitting on your own self, but you are quitting on the future that is possible, attainable, and achievable. Where you are right now doesn't determine your future. Most of the successful people in the world are the ones who have had the most failures. They succeeded because they understand that you can't let your failure define you. You have to let them teach you. I have studied countries that have achieved significant leaps in Southeast Asia, and this has been for a generation. And I've studied companies in those countries that have achieved significant growth and success, and I can see patterns. One thing is certain: they do not have populations more clever than we have. What we need is to take ownership of the fact that we can change things and persist on that track with a determination that the pillars of our transformation include justice, equity, respect for the dignity of the human person. In the early days of the American journey, Patrick Henry screamed, "Give me liberty or give me death." I am convinced that if enough of the young of our land determined to do justice to their neighbor and to engage as entrepreneurs, Nigeria could easily soon be the most desirable country to live in. Let's not talk about it anymore. When we talk too much, talk becomes cheap. Nigeria was not always this corrupt. With determination, we must fight back so that, freed from the shackles of corruption, we can, together, build that entrepreneurial and prosperous society we desire and deserve. Happy birthday, Nigeria!